What's up, everybody? I'm back with our second video in our series of doing the solo runs with every survivor. Today we're doing the engineer, and in today's video, build like strategy build wise, we're gonna go for the laser instead of the blaster, just because I feel like I've tested out both quite a bit. I've definitely used the laser more than the blaster, but that's because I just think the laser's better than the blaster. I don't think the blaster is bad. In fact, every time I use it, I'm starting to think it's better than I thought it was. But I don't think it's. I just don't think it's the laser. You know. I think the laser just has a better fire rate. It just shoots. It just hits more things more often. You know, the blaster is cooler, I think, and I think the blaster, you know, is stronger, but the laser, with its penetrating power, its ability to go through zombies, and just its fire rate, it just seems like it's always firing. Whereas the if you've seen the blaster, it's just the, you know, it's like 3 or 4 bullets. I think it's 4 when it's fully upgraded, and it's just like it's a single fire bullet, and it's just so painful when you see it miss. So don't really want to afford any misses during the solo run. So we're going to go with the laser. We've already got the Tesla, so we are almost there actually. The Tesla is actually a great weapon in its own right. When it comes to like the secondary weapons, the Tesla might be the best one. It's definitely one of the best ones. And then beyond that, so we're going to go with the laser. Then beyond that, it's just kind of about the pickups that we're going for, which we definitely have to go for some health regen if we can, and I think also some critical chance if we can, maybe critical damage, just because we want that damage output, and we want the health regen. Health regen is just, it's so important. The more you play, the more you see that you're gonna take damage. So you really need to be able to regenerate it when you can, you know, because at some point, like I said, you're gonna take damage, and if you're not regenerating it, it's just gonna go down pretty quickly. So there's our laser. Get that on display. Go get our first pickup. It's probably been here for a minute. I just haven't been coming over here. Those are all not very good. In fact, so let's use a banish while we can, and we'll banish. I don't need the congratulations letter, and then we'll re-roll, and we'll let's go with the teddy bear. We didn't do that in our last solo run, and you know, the teddy bear is actually really important. If you've never heard me say in a previous video, the teddy bear, the plus 10 happiness is actually plus 10 luck, and to my understanding, it's just a better drop rate of health pickups like the hearts, killing frenzies, the stone skins, probably money as well, maybe even like, you know, the better experience like those red jewels. That I don't know about, but the drops like more magnets and health and killing frenzies, that's for sure. And if you pick up one of those teddy bears, you'll notice like right away. Maybe not like right away, but like later in the run when things are getting bad. All right. A little distracted there. Anyway, so we want our critical chance, our health regen, and then the thing with the engineer is that we also want our skill cooldown, because that's his thing, his skills. So we also are going to want to stack on that skill cooldown, maybe the skill damage too. Skill damage, I don't know. I always feel like that's not as impactful as some of the other things that we could get. Almost got everything. Wow, alright. So we'll go electrocution. But we definitely want skill cooldown, because skill cooldown pairs beautifully with the energy shield that we have. It pairs beautifully with the engineer as a whole, because that's also his leader perk. The little, you know, the 10% skill cooldown. So those things will stack, and we'll just have skills going off left and right. But the shield's the most important thing. So, let's see here. With electrocution. And the shield is the most important thing because you can see how often it hits all these zombies as they go in and out of it. And it can apply critical damage on all those hits. So it's just, the damage from the shield is not super high, but it hits so often, and it has the chance for critical damage. And if we can have it up all the time, it's just, you know, it's a real good DPS situation because the damage is just constantly going. And it's like a protective barrier around you as well. They will also synergize pretty well with this electric turret, though the turret is not nearly as good, because the turret is stationary. So you don't always want to be stationary. There are times in run where if you have the other survivors with you, you can stay stationary for a while, especially if you're pretty powerful, like you have, you know, good stationary things like the shield, these turrets, or the SWAT turret, or you know, like 1,000 cuts from Ghost, minigun from SWAT, or not SWAT, tank. You can see here, you know, we're only 5 minutes in, so when I have that shield, it's actually very easy for us to stay stationary. It's about time for me to go get some of these green arrows, isn't it? It is nice to know that the chests and like liberated survivors, they ooh, there we go, or health regen, they don't go away. You know, they'll just pile up over here. So there's really not a huge rush to get to them because you're gonna get to them all eventually. Critical damage, we don't really want any of these things. So let's reroll. We'll banish the potato, and we're gonna reroll again. The frozen heart's not bad, but we really don't want to take the hit to our health regen. I don't want these either. I'm gonna banish the XP modifier. Reroll. I don't really want these either. I almost want to just get my rerolls back, to be honest. We'll go up to lifesteal. The lifesteal, I talk about it all the time in a lot of these videos. I'm really not sold on it. It's such a weird mechanic in this game. I can't really decide if it's completely useless or overpowered, or somewhere in the middle. I find it so strange that you can get a pickup like we just got that gives you 3% lifesteal all the time. 3% all the time, no cooldown. And you get 1% base, so it's 4% total, right? But the medic has an ability that gives you 5% lifesteal, so 2 more than the item. But it's only every 45 seconds. It's got a 45-second cooldown. Now cooldown can get better with items and stuff, but the extra 2% on that, and keep in mind, I mean, I guess that 5% would stack, you know, with the things you already have, but you already have 4 if you just get 1 pen drive. That's all the time, no cooldown. So is the pen drive OP, or is the medic ability really weak? Like, I don't know. And I feel like I don't, but here's the thing, I do feel like when I see that medic ability kick in, sometimes I notice it, and I like, transplantology is the name of it, and I actually notice my health go up a lot faster. But it's so situational. It has to kick in right at the right time. It has to be like usually later in a run where there's better chances for lifesteal. It has to be the time where you need it, like your health. It has to be like later in a run. Your health has to be low. It has to trigger at the right time. It's just, I don't know, but I feel like I have seen it be useful. I don't know. Anyway, the engineer. It's alright. We got at least another 10-15 minutes in this run. So we got plenty of stuff to talk about. Skill cooldown, 5, yeah. Oh. I don't really want to use any more rerolls, so we'll take the 5% skill cooldown. Because it does come with the reload speed, which is, you know, not nothing. I'm always weary of taking the 5% items instead of the 10% items, because 5% seems so small. You know, is it really impactful? You just gotta remind yourself, like, it does stack with everything else. So, and it's better than nothing. I'm also used to the reload speed not meaning anything, because to my knowledge, reload speed means nothing with Ghost and Huntress. But here with the laser, it does mean something. It means a lot more. I mean, I don't know the exact mechanic of the laser. I mean, you can see that it has to stop for a second. So, right? I don't know. He's firing it so fast. Look at that. Where's the reload? Right there. Right there. Okay. Now, I almost feel like the laser is going to get better. It's going to get like a buff and an update at some point. Because the laser, if you've played the previous game, yet another zombie defense, the laser is kind of like their flagship weapon, I think. You know, it's like the yet another weapon. And it is powerful, but it's not like super powerful. Like, I'd rather have 1,000 cuts or the minigun or the assault rifle. Lots of stuff, honestly. But it is good. And maybe I haven't seen its full potential yet. Because there are certainly items and skills that I thought were bad in this game that I use, and you just use them in the right way, and then they just blow your mind. But man, okay, we definitely got to reroll because I don't really want any of these. Skill cooldown, skill damage. Alright. Still just 5%. I'd like to get the nuts and bolts. Because the nuts and bolts is just 10% skill cooldown. But we got the 10% skill cooldown from the engineer himself. We've got 2 5s, that's another 20. The skill tree gives us 25, I think. So we should be, you know, doing pretty good. What's that? I don't remember the numbers I said. Did that press at 45? Still, if I could get a couple of nuts and bolts, that'd be good. Well, we also have, what, 2 health kits? Yeah, 2 med kits, and the teddy bear, and the pen drive. That's one of the fun things about this game, is the runs never really go exactly the way you want. Like, you go into these runs and you think to yourself, well, I'm going to need the teddy bear, and I'm going to need the pen drive, and I'm going to need nuts and bolts and a slingshot, you know, and then all you get is toilet paper and a crab. Such a weird sentence out of context. All you get is toilet paper and a crab. Alright, 10 minutes. 10 minutes I would say is like the halfway mark, the halfway point, for our goal at least. I would say if we don't make it 20 minutes, it's not a success. Now we made it 22 minutes with the Huntress. That's the only other one we've done so far. I've done a little bit of testing with all of them to get an idea of what I think a solo run's going to be like, or what I'm going to use. But the only legit solo run I've done so far is with the Huntress. We got 22 something, which I think is, it felt good. It felt like I couldn't have done much better, but I was really hoping to do better. Another med kit. And that's one of those things where, like, you don't know. Like, maybe if I did it again and got different items, I would do better. But then again, we don't know. Maybe 22 minutes is phenomenal. I actually don't really have much of a frame of reference. I've tried not to spoil myself by watching other solo runs on YouTube. Because I thought about doing that. I could just type in yet another Zombie Survivor solo run. But then for all I know, somebody's going to be like, well, you just got to use SWAT and you can last 30 minutes. It's easy, you know. That would ruin the fun for me. I wouldn't be able to figure it out myself. So, that being said, I'm glad that you're watching this video and that you didn't do that. Or maybe you already have done that and you're just here to see what some idiot on the internet did. Another 5% skill cooldown. It's also 5% skill damage, which is good for the shield. Shield, the turret, the electrocution. You can see there, the electrocution is actually pretty powerful. Because it also is affected by the critical chance and damage. But does like 4 times the damage of the shield. So hopefully all those things working in unison. The skill cooldown that we're going to keep getting, the shield, the turret, the electrocution. There has to just be enough crowd control out there to just keep the horde off of us. I don't think we're going to be able to put down any bosses as we get like later into the run, but getting a little hairy, getting a little hairy. Let's get out of this corner. Now that's the downside. We got to run away from the little turrets we've set up, you know. But to my knowledge, they still stay over there. They're still doing damage. They're still killing zombies. So again, I don't want any of these things. I guess fuck. I picked it. I think I should have chose the rerolls. I don't actually know if the fire rate affects the laser at all. But I had that thought a little bit too late. Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe it does affect laser. Maybe that's what I need to really tap into the laser's greatness. We're figuring it out, you know? And this is a survivor, right? Not a chest. Chest would be much better. Though for the first time, we're going to choose the health. So I'm starting to see here that there's a possibility that the Huntress might do better than the Engineer. We might not be able to catch her. It's hard to tell. Because we're not going to upgrade our weapons any further, you know. We can get some skill cooldown items or some axes like for weapon damage, but nothing's going to get significantly upgraded, and our damage output right now is not great. You know, you can already see it. You get a little overwhelmed at times. But we got about 8 minutes to go to beat the Huntress record. Skill damage or more life steal. We're gonna go with the skill damage because like I was just saying, I think we need that crowd control. I think it's gonna be important. Now, ironically enough, I would actually like to get another one of those homing pigeons. The 5% skill cooldown and 5% skill damage. Oh no, maybe the nuts and bolts. Because we need enough to keep this shield up constantly. I want it to not. I want the new one to come before the old one goes away. And I think we need nuts and bolts to do that. Because look, it's got a few seconds there. I'd say about 2 or 3 seconds. It's gone. There's almost no point to come liberate these guys. I guess we're stockpiling cash though. More money than I know what to do with. They need to give me like 3 more skill trees. Although they probably don't expect somebody to pump like 60 hours into an early access game in the first month that it's released, you know? But here I am. Alright, I got another chest over here. 15 minutes. We're actually not really getting that overwhelmed like I thought we would be. Do we go with the fire rate again? I think we go with the critical damage. Even though we haven't gotten any critical upgrades, you can see all the criticals around us, so we're definitely hitting them. Alright, getting a little rough. Still need that nuts and bolts. That was one of the videos I was hoping to make, was I was going to rank all the pickups. So like the nuts and bolts, the slingshot, the axe, you know, giant crab. But then they did a little balance update and they changed a couple of them. I think they may have even like added one or something like that, because I was going through the list the other day and I had one not ranked. That's a hard list to make. There also should be another balance update or some kind of update at some point this month, so I'll hold off on releasing that till that comes out. In fact, that'll probably be quite a ways away, I think, because when that update comes out, there's going to be, I think, a new survivor and a new map. They're probably going to release some, they could potentially release the next tier of skills for the survivors we currently do have. So there could be a lot to talk about. So it might not be time to rank the pickups. And if you're wondering earlier when we got that teddy bear and I was saying it increases the pickups, I mean, you see all these frenzies and stone skins I'm getting. That's one thing I did not get one of those when I played with the Huntress. I didn't want any of these. We'll go with the instantly reload, I guess. I don't actually think that's going to do much for us at all, but at this time of the run, you are getting hit or taking damage pretty often, so that almost like negates a reload a lot of the time. I don't know. I think that's better with other survivors and other builds, you know, like the minigun and stuff, but I'll take it here. It's not bad. It's not going to hurt us. It's just not nuts and bolts. Nuts and bolts would have been a lot better, or nuts and bolts or a slingshot. That's what we really want. We got a green arrow over there for a survivor to liberate, but we really don't need that. So we could almost consider just leaving it there, almost as like a health kit to get later. Well, now I'm starting to think the engineer is going to easily eclipse the Huntress. Alright, because we're at 18.5 minutes. Look at this. They can't touch me. Hanging out in my turrets here. Just utter chaos. I don't know, it's taking a while to kill this boss, though. But yeah, I'm starting to think we're going to beat the 22 minutes. It's like 22.5 minutes, I think, was the record. The record from one game we played. We'll go with the critical chance and damage. In fact, I'm thinking we get to 25 minutes. Unless we start to get, like, really overwhelmed here soon. Come on, shield. There we go. But the difference here between this run and the Huntress run that we did, we're actually killing quite a few zombies here. The Huntress was more about just staying alive, using the zombie decoy and the freezing arrows to like keep them away from us. Alright, I'm gonna focus for just a quick second here. And I'm gonna show us all why health regen is so important. And why you want to focus on not getting trampled by those dudes. There we go, the stone skin will help us. I could have also gone down there and got that survivor that we saved. Or I guess maybe you can only have one of the survivors at a time. Maybe just I'm guessing just the chests are the ones that don't go away. Because now we've had 2 chests and 1 survivor. So, skill cooldown, skill damage. So let's go get this. I wouldn't say we're overwhelmed, but we are, you know, things are getting a little hairy. I think I said that like 10 minutes ago, but it's more true now. Because as these bosses start to pile up and we can't actually like take them out, it's gonna get more difficult. The problem is really the bosses, and it's the fast dudes, like the really fast zombies, because then they can get to you before you're not putting out enough firepower, so they will just get to you before you can kill them. Although I see a lot of them stopping at the shield, so maybe if we can get that shield to not go away. We haven't seen the nuts and bolts once. And I'm pretty sure 1 nuts and bolts at this point would do it. Keep an eye out for those arrows so we don't get trampled again. Don't need health. Let's recycle. Might as well. I'm not entirely sure what recycle does. I know it's supposed to give you money. I think it says it gives you money and experience, but I think I've looked and I don't see the experience go up. Okay, we need this stone skin. Stone skin, remember, is always like, it's basically health if you have health regen, because it guarantees you're not going to take damage for a good like 5 to 10 seconds. At least 5 seconds, I mean. It used to be 10 seconds. Ooh, more. Still, no nuts and bolts. More things I don't want. So not the best RNG for us. I think the magnet range will actually help us out quite a bit, because we already have the teddy bear, so there should be a lot of drops, right? I mean, it's not ideal. It's not what we wanted. Alright. Starting to get to me a little bit. But you know what's really helping is that teddy bear. Because, man, how often if I had a stone skin or a killing frenzy? You see this? I'm just chaining them together. Don't try to have your great runs without a teddy bear. Should have learned that with the Huntress. Because I think I had like 3 teddy bears pop up with the Huntress and did not take them. Take this health. Oh. There we go. Get this chest. Please, can I get a nuts and bolts? I mean, I would even take another, I guess you can't get the pigeon, you can get the solar panel for the 5%, but still no. We'll go with the lifesteal. We've already got 3, so now we've just got base kit transplantology, right? Isn't that what that means? So that should give us 7% lifesteal all the time. Could have swore I saw a green arrow over here. I guess not. Things are just getting a little chaotic. Okay, keep moving. Oh, yep, keep moving. I was gonna say it'd be nice to get some turrets planted next to each other and be able to kind of hang out by them. Look, I got one over there. They're actually staying up quite a while. Drop the other one like right here. Watch the health. Oh, speak of the devil. Turret helping? Oh yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna get out of there. Get out of there, see if we can circle over here. Probably should have gone over to the survivor to get the health, but let's count on our health regen. Man. I guess. Haven't seen nuts and bolts. Oh, yeah, see the fast ones, they're oh, we got ran over. If we wouldn't have got ran over, I feel so bad. If we wouldn't have got ran over, we would have gone another few minutes easily. I didn't get nuts and bolts offered to me once. And one nuts and bolts would have changed it. I don't know. I can't, because if I'd have got that, then I wouldn't have 3 medkits. So, but I also had the crappy ones like the magnet thing and the what's the instantly reload and the magnet. I didn't really want the giant enemy crab either, or the solar panel. So not the best RNG. I think better RNG. I don't want to exaggerate, but would we have got to 30 minutes? Like if I could pick my own pickups, I feel like that's possible, right? DPS. Not great with the laser. Maybe this deserves a round 2 with the blaster and some better RNG. I don't know, worth a shot. Look at that turret though, that's pretty darn good. Not expect that from the turret. Huh. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back next time with a different survivor. Thank you.